right, good afternoon, everybody. Today on What's Cooking Miravida, and welcome to our show again. I hope you enjoyed our treat that we had last week with the caramel corn, or Cracker Jack, excuse me. This week we're doing another quick and easy treat. Just a couple of ingredients, 4 total actually, and one of them is just the pan spray to grease the pan. But we're going to do Fruit Loop Rice, well, they're not Rice Krispie, but Fruit Loop marshmallow treats. Just like you would make Rice Krispie bars, we're going to add in Fruit Loops instead of the Rice Krispies. One of the reasons why I chose this one, again, it's simple. Anybody could do it. Even if you are scared of the oven, you can make this. It doesn't require any oven. It's just stovetop cooking. And 2, it's something you can do with kids very easily. Or 3, it's quick. So, you get a call saying, hey, come over for dinner tonight, bring a dessert. Well, if you've got some marshmallows and some cereal in your cabinet and some butter, you can make it. And so it makes it very simple. And there's hundreds of variations you can do with these things. You can make them with peanut butter. Instead of one of the cups of marshmallows, you put peanut butter in its place, and then you've got a variation that way. You can top it with melted chocolate chips, and then you've got the Rice Krispie bar, melted chocolate chips, makes it a tasty treat. You can add M&Ms into them as something. You could add pretzels into your cereal if you want a little salty, a little sweet. So just a ton of variations for it. We actually had a great variation last week for lunch here at Miravida. It was Rice Krispie Reese's peanut butter treat. And so it was with the Rice Krispies, the marshmallow, peanut butter, and melted, chopped up melted and chopped up Reese's peanut butter cups. So you did the Rice Krispies with the marshmallows and peanut butter mixed in, did a layer of the Reese's peanut butter cups, and then another layer of the Rice Krispies, and they were very tasty. Again, no baking required, so you don't even have to start the oven up. It's something very quick that you can do. Like I said, get invited over to a dinner. You've got church potluck on Sunday, and you forgot to make something. Very quick, very easy to put together. So we'll go ahead and get started. Get our burner on medium-high heat here. For this batch, we're going to add our butter here and get that melted up. And for batch at home and like a 9x13, you're going to add about 3 tablespoons of butter. I like to get that a little bit melted before I add the marshmallows. It makes things a little easier to mix. So we're going to chop this up a little bit to make that easier to melt. I always suggest if you've got that stick butter at home and you're melting it, chop it into your tablespoons and then add it to your pan instead of the one big chunk. It'll just make things a little easier, a little quicker to melt. So we're getting this going here. This induction burner that we have here, it works really slick. So once I put the pan on, it starts heating instantly. I take the pan off and I can touch the burner. It's not hot, so it's a really nice feature that way. You can actually buy stovetop ovens, for your home that have that feature if you choose to. It's a nice function. So this is starting to get melted. I'm going to turn up the temperature a little bit here. Get it going. So, I was saying a lot of different variations. We're using the Fruit Loops today. You can use Honey Nut Cheerios, regular Cheerios. You can use, I've seen Corn Flakes, I've seen Rice Krispies. Pretty much any type of cereal will do. It's not getting wet, so it's not melting down, that kind of thing. So it doesn't get soggy, that kind of stuff. So that's just about melted in there. Here's our I like to use the miniature marshmallows. They just melt a little easier, a little quicker than the regular size marshmallows. So again, for for our batch that we're using a little bit more. For at home, use 1 10-ounce package with that 3 ounces of butter, and you're going to use then 6 cups of Fruit Loops. We've got about 18 cups of Fruit Loops here, so we're doing quite a bit more just for our residents here. So stirring a little bit at a time so that we can have enough time on the oven to get them melted and to overwhelm the burner with all of it at once. Just my preference. Again, similar to how we were doing the caramel corn, have a big enough stock pot for you to mix in your cereal and have enough space with the marshmallows and the cereal together that you can just use one pot. You don't have to transfer the marshmallow into into a bigger mixing bowl and cereal. You can just, because what we'll do is once this gets melted, we'll shut the heat off and put the cereal in so nothing continues to cook or anything like that. So add a little more heat here. The biggest thing with if you're stovetop cooking is to be by it, because you can medium-high heat, sometimes it just isn't enough. You got to get it a little closer to high heat, but just be by it so that you can keep stirring it, keep an eye on it so nothing gets too hot too quickly. You're not burning anything. If you keep stirring it and keep an eye on it, then you'll be okay. It's when you get distracted by your phone or watch. I'm going to turn the news on while I cook, that kind of thing. You get distracted, and now you've got troubles on your burner because something got too hot too quick. And so, good rule of thumb when you're cooking: stay on that task. It just helps to turn out a better product that way. Just like anything, I suppose. David, do you have a favorite Rice Krispie bar? Do you enjoy Rice Krispie bars? Very chewy. Very chewy? Overall, I'm not a huge marshmallow fan. In this scenario, that's where I like marshmallows, and I agree. I like them chewy as well. So this is getting there a little bit higher here.
What's the difference between marshmallows and marshmallow cream?
So just in case that wasn't heard, the difference between marshmallows and marshmallow cream. Well, marshmallow cream is more of a thinned out marshmallow, like what we're melting here. It's not going to. It's more of a liquid than it is the marshmallow, where it's not going to get you that stickiness to hold the cereal together. The marshmallows, once they melt and then they sit for a little bit, it stiffens back up, and it will hold that cereal together, whatever your ingredients are. The cream, it just stays liquid, and so it never really hardens back up and sets. That cream, it's good for a dessert topping, or like if you're doing a parfait, like a Jell-O parfait or a pudding parfait, something like that. You put that on the top of it and add a little bit, or to your ice cream sundae. It's good for that. But as far as using it instead of you're thinking, oh, it's already melted marshmallow. It just doesn't hold together like the marshmallows will. And in essence, the butter is there to help coat those marshmallows, get them so that they are a little more pliable once they get melted and greased up a little bit. So this is coming along pretty good here, getting melted. Correct. Yep. Yeah. You just stick some marshmallows in, and you'll have trouble pretty quick getting them out of here. So, at home, it's kind of my favorite thing is when I'm cooking. The kids are tasked with doing the dishes, and so they get a little upset with me if I don't spray the pan right or something like that, and then they gotta get that cleaned up. So, they'll get it done, but they do have some choice words, I'm sure, for me. So, but this is getting pretty good here. Turn it back down now. As you start getting more melted, reduce your heat, because the heat of what you have in here already is going to help aid the stuff that's not melted quite yet. So we're looking pretty good. Actually, I'm going to turn the heat off on here because that's pretty good. And then what you want to do is you take so in your batch at home with the 10-ounce package of marshmallows, 3 tablespoons of butter, and the 6 cups of cereal, you have a 9x16 cake pan. And make sure you grease that pan well, whether you use a pan spray. What else you can use is if you just opened up your butter, you can use that kind of film from the butter paper. Use that. You can use butter to coat it. However, whatever you prefer at home to grease your pan. It will make the cleanup afterwards easier, and it will help them come out of the pan easier, because those marshmallows, like I said, they'll tighten up and they will harden up, and then they'll be a little bit more difficult to work with. So we've got our cereal. Just give this one more good stir here. Looks really good. Stir in our cereal, and you're going to see that it's like you may think, well, I don't quite have enough marshmallow in. You will. It'll be enough. It's not. You don't want it to be like you just made stew and the cereal is your vegetables and your meat and things. It's going to be fairly well coated, but it's going to be fairly dry, I guess. And I'll show you what this looks like in a second here once I get it all coated and stirred up here. Pretty well coated, and if we want to zoom in, I can tilt this way. And we'll show it again in the pan here, but like I said, it's just a little, looks just coated cereal is what it should be like. So I'm going to get this into the pan here before it gets too tough to do so. And always be aware, I've got the silicone handles on the pot here, but if you've got your metal handles, just be aware that the temperature of your pan, you might need a hot pad or something to hold that pan with. No fun getting burnt while you're trying to make a treat here. Take our spatula, and actually what I'm going to do here, another little trick, you might want to just spray your spatula with your pan spray. That way stuff doesn't stick to it as you're spreading it out. So we just get it in the pan. Let's see, we'll go all this way here. Just get it as flat as we can. Obviously, you're dealing with a round cereal, so it's going to be about as good as you're going to get it. You're going to want to let it sit for about 25 or 30 minutes. Let it get firm, and then you'll be able to cut your bars, in any size that you'd like. A good 2-inch by 2-inch bar is usually pretty good. But if you feel like giving the kids a treat, something like that at home, you can make them a little bit bigger. But again, nice, easy, just a few ingredients. Probably have some marshmallows in the pantry at home. We always seem to have marshmallows because you use only a couple at a time for different things. Any cereal that you have, it's a good way. If you bought a cereal you thought the kids or the family would like, and they just didn't care for it so much, put it in some marshmallows, and I'm guessing it'd probably get eaten up. So, and you know, it doesn't take any time at all. Fairly easy, very little mess. All those kinds of things that, you know, busy people are looking for. What can I do quick to get it? Because I don't have a lot of time to spend on it. So, hope you enjoyed it. Residents here at Miravida, we'll be passing them around on Thursday afternoon. So hope you enjoy them, and we'll be anxious to share our next treat. I'm not sure what we'll be making yet, but fairly certain it'll taste good, and you know, I hope you enjoy it, and thanks for paying attention to us on What's Cooking Miravida.